Let's be honest, there's almost nothing worse than a bad toothache, especially the kind that seems to show up at 2 in the morning. It's that awful, throbbing pain that just takes over everything. You can't sleep, you can't eat, you can't think straight. So, we're going to get into a first aid guide for exactly that moment, looking at what you can actually do to get a handle on the pain until you can see a professional. So, have you ever noticed that? The pain just seems to crank up to an 11 the second your head hits the pillow? Well, you're not imagining it. When you lie down, more blood flows to your head, and that increases the pressure on that already super sensitive nerve in your tooth. On top of that, all the distractions of the day are gone, so your brain has nothing else to focus on but that pain. Okay, first things first, let's talk about getting some relief right now. But here's the most important thing to remember. Everything we're about to discuss is a first aid kit, not a cure. Think of it as a bridge to get you to the dentist, not the final destination. The good news is you've got several really solid options, and you probably have a lot of this stuff at home already. We're talking about standard painkillers, a cold compress, even things like clove oil. Even a simple saltwater rinse can be a huge help. It literally pulls fluid out of the swollen tissue, which can relieve some of that awful pressure. Each of these is a tool to get you some temporary peace. Let's start with the go-to for most people, and for good reason. It turns out that over-the-counter pain relievers, like ibuprofen or acetaminophen, work for about 95% of people. That's a huge number. They work by basically telling the pain signals from your tooth, nope, you're not getting through to the brain. Just, always make sure you're following the dosage on the package. All right, a cold compress. So simple, but so effective. And the way it works is actually pretty cool. The cold makes the blood vessels in that area constrict, or get smaller. So when you apply that wrapped ice pack for about 15 minutes, you're slowing down blood flow, which does two things. It helps numb the area, and it brings down the swelling. Now, for a remedy that might sound a little old-fashioned, but trust me, there is real science to back this one up. Clove oil. The magic ingredient is something called eugenol, which is a natural anesthetic, meaning it numbs things and an antiseptic, so it helps clean the area. In fact, studies have shown it's right up there with 20% benzocaine gel for numbing pain. That's the main ingredient in a lot of those dental gels you buy at the pharmacy. But, and this is really, really important, you have to use it the right way. Pure clove oil is super strong and can actually give you a chemical burn on your gums. So the safe way to do it is to dilute it. Just mix a couple of drops with a teaspoon of something like olive oil or coconut oil, soak a cotton ball in it, and then gently apply that to the tooth. And whatever you do, don't swallow it. Okay, we've talked about what to do. Now we absolutely have to talk about what not to do. Because for every piece of good advice out there, there's a dangerous myth floating around the internet that can cause some serious and sometimes permanent damage. So let's debunk a few of those. Right, here are the big ones to stay away from. Putting aspirin or a piece of garlic directly on your tooth or gum? Nope, bad idea. You're just asking for a nasty chemical burn. Rinsing with straight, undiluted hydrogen peroxide, that can seriously damage your gums and your tooth enamel. And maybe the biggest no-no, taking old antibiotics you have lying around. It won't fix the problem, and all it does is help create superbugs that are harder to treat later. And hey, don't just take my word for it. This is straight from the Mayo Clinic, one of the most trusted names in medicine. The danger of burning your gum tissue is very real, so please don't do this. Painkillers are meant to be swallowed, not held against your gums. Simple as that. So, you've gotten the immediate pain under control. That's great. But now we have to talk about the real problem. I want you to think of your pain like a fire alarm. It's loud, it's annoying, and it's telling you something is wrong. But the alarm isn't the fire. And ignoring it, well, that can lead to a much bigger disaster. So what's actually causing the fire? Well, it could be a whole bunch of things. It could be a cavity or something more serious like a dental abscess, which is basically a pocket of infection. Maybe it's a cracked filling, a wisdom tooth causing trouble, or even just from grinding your teeth at night. And here's the key. Not a single one of these can be fixed by you, at home, in your bathroom mirror. And here's a perfect example of why you need a professional to figure this out. You might have an intense, deep, throbbing pain. That could be something called pulpitis, an infection deep in the nerve that might need a root canal. Or you could have a sharp pain that only happens with hot or cold. That could just be sensitivity, which is a way easier fix. They feel different and they require completely different treatments. Only a dentist can tell for sure. So what happens if you just keep popping painkillers and never get it checked out? Well, that little infection can grow and form a painful abscess. From there, the infection can actually get into your jaw and even travel to other parts of your body. And of course, you could end up losing the tooth for good.
All right, now we have to talk about red flags, because sometimes a toothache crosses the line from a dental problem to a full-blown medical emergency. The symptoms we're about to show you are non-negotiable. If you have any of these, you need to see a dentist or go to an ER right away.
If you see swelling in your face or jaw, if you have a fever, or, and this is a big one, if you have any trouble breathing or swallowing, it's time to go. Same thing if the pain is so bad that painkillers aren't even touching it, or if you have a gross, foul taste in your mouth. These are all signs that a serious infection could be spreading. Let me be crystal clear here. These symptoms mean the infection might have moved into your jaw, into the tissues of your neck, or even into your bloodstream. This is way, way beyond a home remedy situation. This is a true medical emergency. Do not wait. So, as we wrap things up here, let's just circle back to that main idea. Everything we talked about, the cold compress, the salt water, the clove oil, they're all incredibly helpful tools. But they are just a bridge, designed to get you from a place of intense pain to the dentist's office. They are not the destination. If you take only one thing away from all of this, please let it be this. The only permanent fix for a toothache is to see a dentist and treat what's actually causing it, period. Everything else is just kicking the can down the road and risking a much bigger problem later. And I'll leave you with this to think about. By using these remedies, you can make the pain go away for a little while. You can make it temporary. But if you stop there, are you just choosing a temporary solution for what could be a permanent problem? The choice is up to you.